fresh off Facebook Marketplace, we just scooped ourselves up a $300 Honda. And get this, it's a two-wheeled Honda because the guy kept the rear wheels. But I'm not too worried about that because I've actually got a set that I've been trying to get rid of, and they're right over here. So we're going to toss those on later. But let's go over what's actually wrong with this thing. First things first, it's covered in salt, and we wouldn't want this thing getting rusty. So we're going to clean her up real quick, and then we'll get into it. Much better. So basically, this thing has a major issue. Check this out. Yeah, you're probably thinking, man, that's low compression. And there's a chance it does have low compression, but the kickstart actually isn't engaging. Unless you just barely feather it, it just slightly grabs. Enough to know that it actually turns over. Now, in order to diagnose this thing, we got to see if the electric start turns it over. Because if it does, we know we got an issue within the kickstart. And if it doesn't, I'm thinking it's over here on the stator side. That doesn't sound too great. And it feels like it's also slipping on this side, which actually points us into the direction of our issue being on that side. But we'll dig into that in a second. Let's get some tires on this thing, throw her in the garage, and get to work. As I mentioned, if you just barely kick this thing over, the kickstart engages just ever so slightly enough to turn it over. So I'm wondering, oh, nice, we're missing the airbox cover and the filter, and there's a nest in it. That's cool. Anyways, I'm thinking if we can get it to just barely kick over, a little bit of shot of ether, and she might actually pop over before we tear into this thing. And she didn't. No luck with that. The guy I bought it from said he thought the issue was behind this clutch, but my intuition tells me it's actually on this stator side, and I'm leaning towards it being a one-way bearing issue, but I'm not totally confident on that. Those one-way bearings can be kind of tricky to diagnose when they're in the bike still. So let's get this cover off. Hold on. Whew, that's an ash. Anyways, we're going to take this cover off and see what we're dealing with in there. Here's my thought process, though. As I kick it over and it starts to slip, you can see that the flywheel isn't moving, which leads me to believe it is that one-way bearing. And I'm not totally confident in that theory. Either way, this cover's got to come off. So let's zap a couple of these bolts loose, and you get the point. Take that cover off. Woo-hoo! She's not looking too hot in here. That gear wasn't just loose in there. It actually just fell when I took the cover off. But that's a lot of metal shavings. I'm wondering what came loose in there that was grinding. There wasn't any damage to the gear, so I'm wondering if that's just parts and pieces of that one-way bearing. Now, in order to yank this stator, we need the right puller. And I've got this kit with everything we need, except for the right size that we need. So we got one on order. So in the meantime, while we wait for that, I'm going to sit here and ponder, why did I buy this thing? And what is the end goal if we do get it running? Are we just turning a $300 quad into a $310 quad? Or say it ain't so. Is it even worth $300 if we do get it running? We might just need to part this thing out, because I know I can sell the seat and the carb alone for about what I paid. Let me know what we should do with it. That's all I got.